Welcome back to Practical Serverless and Microservices with C Sharp. My name is Muhammad Abdullah and I am Microsoft Certified Azure Solution Architect. Today in session number 7, we will discuss background function in Azure. What is background function in Azure? We are facing one problem, and the problem is cloud computing solution. In cloud computing solutions, especially PaaS, often require background tasks to run independent of user request. So to fix this issue, we use serverless computing from Azure function that provide us function that run in background. So we have different type of background tasks. For example, we have timer trigger, blob storage trigger, and queue storage trigger. In this session, we will discuss these three background tasks. So the first one is the timer trigger. So why we need the timer trigger? The timer trigger help us execute a function at regular schedule interval. For what is scheduling? The scheduling is defined by chronic tab expression, which is a time-based format similar to cron expression. You can see the example below. We have seconds, hours, days, months, and a day of week. So we will discuss this in detail. Here is the table that define the chronic tab expression. So you can say we have second, minutes, hours, days, and month. And for example, if you want to run any task every second, so you will use the star. So there is 6 star, or 6 star mean every second. And if you want to run any job every minute, so you will add 0 at start and then 5 star. So this is the this job will run every minute. You can see the other type as well, like if you want to run every 5 second, if you have run any job on any specific time. So this is very flexible. So it will you will create expression based on your requirement. We have one web application that create or generate us the chronic expression for you. So you can visit this website to create chronic expression. So when to use timer trigger? So if you want to take a backup, routine maintenance, periodic data processing, or generate schedule report. So in this scenario, we can use the timer trigger. So there is few advantages as well. So we'll discuss this, this as well very shortly. Like it's a simple form of Azure function. When you want to do a background task, this is the simplest one. And execute function at regular intervals. So this is a flexibility. And the disadvantages is if no work is needed at the scheduled time, the function will still run, leading to unnecessarily cost. So this is one of the disadvantage of timer trigger. So how to create timer trigger inside Visual Studio? I will show you step by step. So here you can see you will go to the new project. You will create new project, and inside this template window you will see Azure function. If you don't see the template in the recent section, you can search Azure function in the search bar, and you can see here this is the Azure function. So you will give name. So this is the name of the Azure function. You can see here you can select solution name, location, then click select. In the next video, in a window, you will see the function framework. You will select any framework based on your requirement. I will go with .NET 9, and here is the function type. So you can see here you will select the timer trigger, and here you will use this expression. So you will define the expression based on your requirement. After creating expression, then you will click on the create button. So once you create, you will see something like this. For example, I already have a function, so I will not create it again. So you can see here this is the class, a simple function. This is a constructor, and this is the function, the timer trigger function. You can see here this is the expression, and this expression show the trigger will run every 5 seconds. After every 5 seconds, this logic will be executed, and inside this function I'm just logging the information. So this is how you can define the timer trigger. So if you run this timer trigger function, you will see something like this. For example, you can see the function is run in run mode, and you can see here this is the information. It will run every 5 seconds. So you can see here it will run every 5 seconds. You can see here the information is again printed. You can see here this is again printed. So this is a schedule. It will run in background on the based on the expression. Okay, next we will discuss how you can monitor your Azure. Once you define the Azure function, how you will monitor. So Azure portal provide you a different type of monitoring tab, like you can use the Azure monitoring. You can monitor your function in the Azure portal to ensure that it's running properly. There is one annotation tab. This tab provide a quick overview and basic detail on the number of time your function has been executed. It will show you number of time and some other information. And Azure monitoring log for detailed information. You can use Azure monitoring log. So for example, here I attach one screenshot. This is the Azure monitoring log where you can run your query based on your requirement, and it will show you the result against that query. And here is one annotation tab. When you open any Azure function and you will go to the annotation tab, you will see the count, number of execution. You can see here success count is 5 and error count is 0. So this is the annotation window, and this is the monitoring application insight performance. This is the performance view where you can check the performance of your Azure function. So it provides like different two views. One is performance view, help analyze performance issues and error, and the other one is the live metric view, provide a real-time view of your function performance for debugging. If you want to debug, you can. This is very useful information you can use. So in our car sharing scenario, we can also use timer trigger. For example, a car sharing service need to process billing once an hour but not on Sunday. So to cover this requirement, we can use the timer trigger. And the timer trigger is the best solution in this case to automate this process. So here is the example how we will get this. For example, you will create one Azure function of type timer trigger, and here is the expression that will be run once in an hour but not on Sunday. So this is the expression used for to cover these requirements. Here is the detail of this expression. In start we have 0 at the start of the second, then we have at the 0 at the start of the minute, and this is the time between 8 p.m. to 5:59 p.m. and the star is represent every day of the month, and the second star is representing every month, and 1-6 it will represent from Monday to Saturday. Now we'll see blob storage, when to use a blob storage and what is the advantages, disadvantages. So first, the basic of the blob storage is that it's a Azure function that is executed in response of any change in Azure Blob Storage. If you upload, if you update, or if you delete any item from the Azure Blob Storage, this trigger will be hit. So what is Azure Blob Storage? It's a highly scalable and cost-effective services for storing unstructured data like images, logs, backup file, and blob stand for binary large object. So it scalable, it handle large amount of data. We can access via HTTPS and HTTP, and we can also do a seamless integration with Azure function to automate any process. If you using local development, then you can use the Azure Emulator, and you can also use Azure Storage Explorer for local development. So when to use, if you want to do image processing, we can use the blob storage, blob trigger, and for data analysis we can use, and real-time and batch processing we use the blob storage. And here is some advantages, disadvantages. Advantages are data handle, a large amount of data handled by the blobs trigger, and it's scalable. And disadvantages, it's the pricing model is based on execution count and data processes, so you will be careful while selecting the pricing plan. And there is a latency problem as well. Depending on the app service plan, there can be a delay between a file being uploaded and the function being triggered. So this is some disadvantages. So now I will go to the Azure. So here you will create Azure storage. For example, I created this Azure storage for this course. If you did not create a storage yet, so you can create by clicking this create button. Once you create, you will fill the form. You will select the resource group. And for example, I created this resource group to keep all my resources in a single group. So it's very useful. You will give name, then you will select the Azure Blob and Azure Data Lake. So I will go with this. If you want only Azure file, so you can select the other option as well. You can select the standard instead of premium, and this is you will select the local redundant storage. After that, you will create and review. So this is some thing about how you will create the storage. Once you create the storage, you will see the storage in your list, and here you will see some information like you can see the data storage. So this is important. Here you will see the container, file share, queues, and table. So after this, the important thing is the access key. So here you will find the connection string to this storage. So you can use the key 1 and key 2. It's up to you. And after that, you will create one container. So for example, in our car sharing application, whenever any driver upload their driving license, after uploading we will trigger the Azure queue trigger, and we will process the document, like we will extract the information, then we will analyze, we will do hashing. After hashing, we will delete the document. So for this purpose, the queue trigger is suitable, so that's why we will use the queue trigger in our example. So I created one container for this purpose, driver license upload. Whenever any user upload any document, the queue trigger will be hit. So this is about how you will create the container as your storage. Now you will create one application. You will click on the Visual Studio. You can see here I will create new project. You will search Azure function. Here is the function, and then you will give name to your application, for example driver. Also, you will select the location. I will select in our location. So I will select the location. This is the name, and it will solution name will be the same. I will click next. After that, you will select the framework. I will go with .NET 8, and here you will select the trigger that you want. I will go with the queue trigger. Sorry, I will select the blob. I will select the blob trigger. After that, here you can see you can select the use Azure for runtime storage. So you can give name to connection string that you want, and you can also select the path, the storage, the container path. So here what I will do, I will add the connection name. For example, I will use this connection. So this will be the connection name, and this will be the path name. So there are two things. This is the container name as I created in the, you can say this is our container name, and the other one is the placeholder. So we will receive the file to process. After that, I will select next. So you will select one option out of three. So I'm using the actual storage, so I will select the storage account. If you are doing local development, you can use the other option as well, the Azure on container, Azure Emulator. So I am doing the actual development, so I will select this. Then you will select the storage account. It will you will need to log into your Azure portal, and here is all the storage accounts. So I already created one storage account, so this is my storage account for this course. So and I will create next, and then you can see here this is our connection string name, and this is the endpoint name. So now I will go next, and it will set up the secret for us and the other packages, and once you finish, it will create the Azure function. Now we'll see queue storage trigger, a function that is executed in response to message placed in Azure queue storage. When any new message is added to the queue, it will trigger. So this is the basic of queue storage trigger, and it works on the FIFO based principle. First in, last out, and it ensures messages are processed in the order they are received. So it's used to make the system decouple, and here is some benefit, like we can use this for asynchronous processing, like it's enable decoupling synchronous communication between two different armored services, and it can handle large amount of messages with automatic scaling, and it also reliable and fault tolerance, like it guarantee each message will be properly processed. So this is some benefit of using queue storage trigger. And using a queue storage trigger allow developer to focus on the core business logic, as the underlying infrastructure is handled by the cloud provider such as Azure. So you will only focus on the core business logic. So this is the benefit of using queue storage trigger. And advantage is efficient messages handling and decouple architecture, I already covered in the previous slide. And some advantages: you should be careful while selecting the plan. The pricing model is based on the number of execution and data process, which lead to unexpected cost. And other disadvantages is error handling. Developer must implement mechanisms such as retry and error handling to manage high load or transient failure. So you should be careful while implementing mechanism like retry and error handling. So when to use queue trigger? Best scenario, a queue storage trigger is reliable and efficient choice for the processing a queue task. Whenever you want or need a queue task in your application, then this is the best tool to use, such as order processing. In e-commerce we have order processing. In that case scenario we can use the queue trigger. And if you want to do a background job scheduling, so it's best choice. And if you want event driven notifications, so queue trigger will help you in this. And for a practical, we will see one example in our car sharing example. For example, in case of best match scenario microservices, there is one scenario that is the car sharing application has a best match microservices. They need to be triggered whenever a route manage occur. Whenever any route manage is occur, then we will use this my best matches solution. For this, route messages are sent as a JSON message to Azure queue storage and named new message. So this will be the queue name of the queue. The new message will be the queue. A queue storage trigger function is used to process these messages. So to do this example, I will show you step by step how you will do this. So let's go to the Visual Studio. So first of all, for a local development, you will use you will install the this one tool, Azure Storage Explorer. We will use this storage for emulator purpose. Okay, and you will also need one Azurity as well. For example, if you go to see your control command prompt, here you can see this is the command prompt, and you will use the Azurity. We will use Azurity plus the solution the Storage Explorer. If you don't have any Azurity installed, so you can use this command to install the Azurity. So I already have Azurity, so I will not run the command again. So to run the Azurity, you will use this command, Azurity silent mode location. This is the location of the Azurity, and once you run, you will see these messages like, for the blob, when anything happen in the blob, it will listen at this port. When anything edit or updated in the queue, it will listen to this one. And if anything happen in the tables related, so you can use this. So this is all the three, blob, queue and table. It will listen on the respective ports. So this is the first step. You will install and you will run this command. Once you install, then you will open the Explorer. Once you open the Explorer, you will see something like this. If you are new to this Storage Explorer, how you will connect, you will click on this switch button, and here is few options. So you can see here, I will select local storage emulator. So I am not using the actual Azure services now because this is in development stage. So to save the cost, I will use the local storage emulator. So you will click on this, and here you will give name, account key, other information. Then you will click next. After this review, you will review and you will click connect. So it will connect. Once you connect, you will see this option, emulator attached. So I already connect the emulator, so I already have, and inside this emulator attached, you will see the account storage. So we have different accounts, so I will use this emulator account. So you can see here we have options for blob storage, queue storage and table. So this is the three options we have in the Azure Storage Explorer. So this is something about Azurity and Azure Storage Explorer. You will need this in application. Now Azurity is running and this is connected to the Azure Storage. So next I will go to Visual Studio and I will create one application, Azure function. So I will create new. Then you will search for Azure functions. You will select next and you will give name to your function. So based on our scenario, I will give respective name. My best matches, and here is the location of your code and the solution name, and click next. Okay, so now you will select the framework you want. I will go with .NET 9, and here is the queue trigger. So we will see how queue trigger work in reality. So you will select the queue trigger, and here is some option. As I already mentioned that we will use the emulator, so you must check this checkbox for to use the Azurity and for runtime storage account. So I will keep this selected, and this is not needed, so I will not use the container support. Here is the connection string name, so you can give any connection string name. So in my case I will give the car storage car sharing storage as a connection string name. The second thing is the queue name. So queue name is important. I will give name like new match. So this is needed, so I will select the new match, and here is the configure. You will select the dependency. I will explain you. So you can see here in the Explorer, I will create the same queue with the same name I give to this queue name. So next, so in the next screen you will select the connect the dependency. So I will use the Azurity emulator. I already explained in the start how you will connect the Azurity emulator. So I will select the second option. If you want the actual Azure storage, so you will select the third option. Okay, so now I will use the Azure emulator locally, not on the, if you have a containerized emulator, so you can use the first option. So I will use the second option. So next you will use the connection string, and this will be the connection string. So remember that if you are working with the emulator, the local development, so this will be the connection string for your application. Okay, so this will be the name, and this is the connection string. So next, here I will unselect all the packages because I don't need, so I will not select this. Yes, so let's back one thing. I will not save the anything locally. So you will click the third option, next, and I don't need any other package, so I will unselect and finish. So once you finish, the application the function will be created. Let's close, and now you can see here, if I scroll, it will add all the packages. Here you can see this is the function we created, and you can see here this is the queue storage. This will be the queue name, new match. So I will copy this, and I will create the queue with same name in the Azure storage. So you can see I will come to this point, and I will open the emulator default port with key, and I will click on key, create new, and I will give the same name, new match. So this is about how you will create the queue in the Storage Explorer. Now I will go back to the code. So here you can see the connection. This is the connection string name. So I will copy, and I will go to the local setting JSON file. So you can see here there is no connection string name. So I will give the name, and then I will use this connection string. This will be the default connection string for local development. So you can see all is done. So all the step is done. Now I will add trigger here, and I will run this application. So now you can see here this is running, the Azure function is running. Now I will send one message to the queue. So I already note down the message to save the time. So you can see here I will open the Explorer. Here is the Explorer queue, and I will click on the add, and here you will add the message, and you will keep all the thing as default, and I will click OK. As you can see here, the breakpoint is triggered, so we can analyze the message we are sending from the Explorer. So you can see here, you can process the message. So this is how the queue trigger works.